While Emma Hayes lay crying in an Atlanta hospital bed, holding her newborn twins against her chest, her husband Daniel Brooks sent her a photo of his mistress's pregnancy and demanded a divorce. But 6 months later, when all of America watched Emma on national TV, the host opened the file. 3 hours after my twins were born, my husband sent me a photo of another woman's pregnant belly. I was lying in a hospital bed in Atlanta, stitches burning under the blanket, 2 newborn babies sleeping against my chest, when Daniel Brooks texted me the message that ended the woman I used to be. I got her pregnant. Sign the divorce papers. For a few seconds I could not breathe. My son Noah made a tiny sound against my shoulder. My daughter Lily curled her fingers around the edge of my hospital gown. And there I was, holding 2 lives I had just fought to bring into the world, while the man who promised to protect us was asking me to disappear. But 6 months later, on national television, Daniel sat under bright studio lights with his perfect suit and practiced tears. Then the host opened my file. And America finally learned why Daniel had been so desperate for me to sign those papers. My name is Emma Hayes, and before that night I believed Daniel Brooks was ambitious, not cruel. He owned Brooks Medical Holdings, a private healthcare supply company in Atlanta. He loved cameras, charity galas, expensive watches, and people calling him a family man. He built his whole life around looking honorable. That was why he came to my hospital room in a navy suit less than 2 hours after sending that photo. He did not bring flowers. He did not ask how the babies were. He placed a folder beside my water cup and said, "My attorney prepared everything. You just need to sign." I stared at him. "You brought divorce papers to my hospital bed?" His face stayed cold. "Emma, don't make this dramatic. You'll get support. The twins will be fine." "The twins?" I whispered. "You haven't even looked at them." For the first time his eyes moved toward the babies. Not with love. With inconvenience. Then he leaned closer and lowered his voice. "You have no job right now. You have 2 newborns. You can't fight me." That was the moment something inside me stopped crying. Because behind Daniel's arm, half hidden under his coat, I saw a second folder. It had my late father's company name stamped on it. Hayes Family Trust. Daniel noticed my eyes move. His hand tightened around the folder. And I remembered something my father told me years before he died. "Emma, when a powerful man rushes you to sign, he is not saving time. He is hiding something." So I looked Daniel in the eye and said, "No." His jaw hardened. "You'll regret that." Then he walked out. Audience, be honest with me. If you were lying in a hospital bed holding newborn twins, and your husband sent you proof of his mistress's pregnancy, could you ever forgive him? I did not chase Daniel. I did not call his mistress. I did not post anything online. I healed. For 6 months, I lived in my mother's small house outside Decatur. I learned how to feed 2 babies at 3 a.m. while my body still hurt. I learned how to smile at strangers who said, "Your husband must be so proud." I learned how to cry quietly so Noah and Lily would not wake up. And every night after they fell asleep, I opened the file Daniel forgot to take from the hospital. A nurse named Grace had found it behind the visitor chair. At first I thought it was just old paperwork from my father's trust. But page by page the truth became darker. Years before Daniel married me, my father had quietly invested in his failing company. Daniel never told me the full amount. He never told me that Brooks Medical Holdings survived because of Hayes' money. And he definitely never told me about the clause. The clause said that if Daniel attempted to hide, transfer, or misuse company assets during a marital separation, voting control would return to the Hayes Family Trust beneficiary. Me. I hired Margaret Lane, a sharp family attorney in Atlanta who wore silver glasses and never wasted words. She studied the file for 2 weeks. Then she looked up and said, "Emma, your husband wasn't just trying to divorce you. He was trying to make you sign away the power your father left you." My hands went cold. Margaret kept digging. She found company payments going to luxury apartments, jewelry stores, and private medical bills connected to Daniel's mistress. She found rushed asset transfers dated the same week I went into labor. She found an email Daniel sent to his CFO that said, "Move everything before Emma wakes up." Before Emma wakes up. I read that line again and again. Daniel thought I was asleep. He thought pain had made me powerless. But sometimes a woman's silence is not weakness. Sometimes it is evidence gathering. Then came the phone call that changed everything. A producer from the Nora Blake Show, one of the biggest daytime shows in America, wanted to feature my story. Daniel had already agreed to appear. Of course he had. Daniel believed the camera loved him. He thought he could sit there, look sad, and convince America that I was unstable after childbirth. He did not know I was bringing the blue file. The morning of the show, I walked into the New York studio wearing a cream blazer, low heels, and my wedding ring on a thin chain around my neck. Daniel was already there. He smiled when he saw me. Not kindly, confidently, like a man who thought the ending had already been written. The cameras turned on. Nora Blake looked at him first. Daniel, did you ask your wife for a divorce while she was recovering from giving birth to twins? Daniel sighed. His voice became soft and polished. Our marriage had been broken for a long time. I never wanted to hurt Emma. I just wanted everyone to move forward peacefully. The audience stayed quiet. Then Nora turned to me. Emma, you have stayed silent for 6 months. Why speak now? I looked at Daniel. Then I said, because Daniel never feared hurting me privately. So I stopped protecting him publicly. His smile disappeared. Nora reached for the blue file on the table. Daniel leaned forward. What is that? I did not answer. Nora opened the first page. Then the second. Then her expression changed. The studio went so still I could hear the lights humming above us. Nora looked directly at Daniel and said, Mr. Brooks, according to these documents, your company was not built by you alone. It was saved by money from the Hayes Family Trust. Daniel's face drained. Nora continued. And according to this clause, when you attempted to transfer company assets during the divorce process, legal voting control returned to Emma Hayes. A wave of shock moved through the audience. Daniel tried to laugh. That's not accurate. Nora lifted another page. These bank records show company funds were used for personal payments connected to the woman you had an affair with. Daniel snapped. That is private information. Nora looked at him coldly. So was your wife's hospital bed. That line exploded across America before the show even ended. Daniel's hands started shaking. The man who told me I could not fight him could not even finish a sentence. During the commercial break, he followed me into the hallway. Emma, he whispered, tears filling his eyes, please. Don't destroy me. I looked at him for a long moment. Then I said, Daniel, I didn't destroy you. I only stopped hiding what you did. He reached for my hand. I stepped back. 6 months ago you handed me divorce papers while I was holding our babies. Today I handed America the truth. Audience, tell me this in the comments. What was Daniel's biggest betrayal? The affair, the divorce papers, or trying to steal Emma's future while she was recovering? 3 weeks later, the court froze Daniel's transfers. The board removed him from active control pending investigation. My attorney secured protection for Noah and Lily. And I became the controlling trustee of the company my father had quietly saved. But the greatest victory was not the company. It was the night I rocked my twins to sleep and realized I was no longer waiting for Daniel to come home. I was already home. He thought he left me broken in a hospital bed. But all he really did was leave the truth beside me. Moral: never underestimate a woman on the day she looks broken. Sometimes she is not falling apart. Sometimes she is quietly learning where to place the truth so it can bring down every lie. If Emma's comeback gave you chills like this story, subscribe for more powerful legal revenge stories, and comment what you would have done if you were in her place.